Hi guys, I'm back and I'm going to be telling you about my face care routine. And literally, it's soap and water and a moisturizer that is oil free. So, I have my soap here and as you can see it's black. It's called Coalface and it's from Lush. It has charcoal in it which absorbs oil and brightens the skin. And just this and water and you're good. After I pat my face dry, I apply some Cetaphil, if you can see it, there it is, and it is oil-free facial moisturizing lotion. I get this at Chemist Warehouse. I think they sell it at Safeway now as well. Woolworths. Everybody still calls it Safeway. Sorry, Woolworths. Also, my face care routine comes with some arts and craft, and I lost my other one of these, so I'm going to have to make a new one anyway. And what it is a face washer pouch that I put my soap in and keep my soap in, so I don't waste any bits of my soap because it's always in here, and I scrub it and then it dries because it hangs up by a ribbon off the tap. And it dries with all the soap in it so that it... And once or twice a week I take the soap out and I chuck it in the washer and wash it so that it doesn't have too many bugs on it, but it's got soap in it, so probably not. So yeah, and it teaches you how to make one of these. So you'll need a face washer that, when it's at least doubled over, will be able to fit your piece of soap in it. A piece of ribbon that's at least a foot long, I reckon. This is a 30cm ruler, so just over a foot, or 2 feet? 2 feet. 60 centimeters long. I just cut this off. I was like, yes, that looks like enough. Very scientific of me. You're going to need some sewing implements, some pins, some thread, scissors, because you're going to cut things, and I may as well just teach you how to finish off the ends of these, because they're going to fray like you wouldn't believe if I don't finish them. So, I get my trusty lighter, and because I'm a little bit of a wimp, I put it onto a candle, and this candle's from IKEA, and it's berry scented, and it's amazing. I got like a gajillion of them, and then you just really gently get the end of it on like the edge of the flame until it looks like it's melted, because this is a synthetic ribbon, so it's gonna melt. If you've got something like silk ribbon because you're like a millionaire or something, or it's not like poly, which is kind of made out of plastics and stuff, and if it doesn't melt like this, go grab some nail polish and put nail polish on the end, because that'll stop it from fraying. Thank you, candle. I should have kept it lit. It smells good. I'll light it later. So, what you want to do is double your face washer over and measure your piece of soap against it so that you've got enough to cover the soap. I'm going to make it a bit bigger because I've had this piece of soap for a while. So I'm just going to do it with half of the face washer. That way I've got a good grip on it and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to just go ahead and cut this in half, and I'll be back with the next step. So I've cut it in half, and spit can just go over there. And I've folded the raw edge down over it onto the other bit and made like a bit where the ribbon can go through and pinned it down. Now I'm going to sew along that so that it makes like a tube for the ribbon to go in. And my ribbon's quite wide, so I made my tube really wide. But if you've got thinner ribbon, you can make it thinner, just as long as the ribbon can get through. Step 2 underway. Now it's all sewn. Because I hand sewed it, you can use a machine if you want, but why waste the time? I've hand sewn it, so I've gone up one way and then back down the other way, so it's like double sewn. It doesn't have to be like perfect, just so it's not going to break. And make sure you tie it off in like granny knots at the end to make sure that it isn't going to come undone. And I'll get my ribbon and shove it through here. And because it's always a laugh, I'm just gonna do it on camera. You can have a bit of a laugh at me trying to get this ribbon through. I find it hilarious, people trying to get ribbon through things, because it's so hard. You're like, why am I doing this to myself? Where's my bodkin? I don't know. Maybe. Haha. I have an idea. If you don't have a bodkin, try some good old SillyYack engineering. It didn't work. But it's gonna work. It's gonna work. I have to make it work. I think the pen is actually too wide for the hole that I made. Ha! SillyYack engineering at its finest. Please not have come. It came off. Oh, Jesus. I'm not an engineer. My ex-housemate was. He's smarter than I am. Maybe if I put a knot on it. A knot should work. Or put it through the other way. I am so smart. I am so smart. S-M-R-T. And I know that it's S-M-A-R-T, but if you never watched The Simpsons, just smile and nod, because that was a Simpsons reference. If you don't have a bodkin, tie this to this, like that, and go through this way first, and just all the way through. That's if it is as, like, thick as a Sharpie, but, like, hey, you can get really thin ones too, if you have one of those, but if you have a bodkin, or just struggle like a peasant. So, with this one, I just tie these two ends together, and so that can like open up, it can close, and then I get my pins again, and pin all the way down the side, and all the way along the bottom. And this one you don't have to, because it's like it's already closed up. But you want this side and this side to be pinned up. And then if you're hand sewing, go along and back twice over it, just to make sure that it stays. But if you're machine sewing, you just have to sew down there and sew down there, and you're done. And then I will be back, because it will be inside out. One thing I forgot to say, this bit where you've folded it over needs to be on the outside when you pinned it, so that when we're finished we turn it back out and you end up with like all good looking neat bits. instead of the cut off bit. And I'm gonna sew some stuff. Now all you do is just like flip it back out once it's sewn. You can like test how strong it is, and if it's not coming apart then you're good. Now, as I was sewing this up, my brain's going, what the hell do I call these? And because my brain really, really likes alliteration and puns and extremely horrible jokes, it kind of went, it's the SillyYack slippery soap stopper. So that's what it is. It's the SillyYack slippery soap stopper. Now, what you do is you grab your bit of soap, and you put it in there, you close it, and if you want you can do another little knot just to keep it closed so that the soap stays in there, because we don't want any soap dropping silliness, even though I am silly. And you can just untie that knot when you want to get the soap out to wash it or anything like that. And basically, even if you're like in the shower or something, you can like put it around there and you're never gonna drop the soap. No, I shouldn't make that joke, it's terrible. So, yeah. That's how I wash my face, with soap in a little baggie. It's weird. I'm sorry that my face washing skincare rituals weren't more convoluted, but we did do arts and crafts, and I'll post a link to this one, which is Coalface from Lush, in the little baggie, which you can make one for your dad, make one for your mum, make one for everyone so that they don't drop the soap. I keep on making that fucking joke and it's horrible. Someone slap me. And this one, the two things that you look for in a moisturizer, if you've got the same type of skin as me, which is like combination to oily, oil-free and SPF, the highest SPF you can find, because it will stop sun damage, and sun damage is one of the things that will give you wrinkles, will give you freckles, will give you liver spots, all of those things. And I'm like, white as hell, and I've got a dungeon tan, but it's because I always cover myself in sunscreen, which is good. And I'll link this one. I think you can get it at Chemist Warehouse still, and maybe Safeway. In ye olde speak, Woolworths for the kids, because they don't know of the Safeway Woolworths trip that we had a couple years ago, kind of like Southern Cross and Spencer Street. It's Spencer Street. For all of the non-Melburnians out there that think Southern Cross is a thing, it's actually Spencer Street. So yeah, we made the little baggie. You can keep like going back and forth and like looking at my rambling to see how to make it if you need to go again and again and again. But I think it was like fairly simple to do. Also, sometimes on DIY things they put it, they like sew things with hot glue or fabric glue. Don't do it for this if you want it to survive water. You need to actually sew it with thread and a needle or a sewing machine or something like that. But don't use glue because it won't work. And you'll end up with just this and a piece of like ribbon, and your soap will not be in the little baggie anymore. So you would have slipped the soap. Yeah. I didn't make the funny bad joke about soap. I'll see you later. This is getting awkward really quickly, so I'm just gonna end it.